Creating a program requires you to use the blocks down here at the bottom. For our programs, there's no need to use this medium motor. I know some of your robots will have this installed, but we're not going to be utilizing it. This motor runs just one of the regular wheel motors. You will see on the robot right there on the side, this motor here. If you have two motors like yours will, using this one motor will cause your robot to turn in circles. There's no way to run two of these at the same time in order to get it to go straight. I would use this motor for all of your motor problems for several reasons. There is a difference between these two blocks. Now notice both blocks run two motors at the same time. However, one key feature that separates the two is this one right here. On this block, you have each motor separate, meaning right now one motor is being run at 50% power, the other motor is running at 50% power. So we could change this number. Let's say we could set that one to 0. This would cause the robot to turn. However, this feature combines those two motors into one. So I could change it like this, and this would be the equivalent to this, if that makes sense. So for me, when I program, I don't typically use this block. Now, let me just explain this turn feature. The arrow, as you can see, when it changes how tight it turns. That's all this slider does, is it tells you how tight of a turn it's going to make. So 10 is very slight turn, 20 is going to be a little bit more. When we get up here, it looks like it's going to turn 90 degrees, but it's just saying that it's going to turn tighter than the previous option. We can get it up here a little bit more, and it looks like it's going to make a U-turn, but it's just making an even tighter turn than the 90 degree. If you go all the way, that means it is going to make, I call it an about face or a hard turn, means it's going to pretty much stay in the same position but make the turn. I'm going to set this back to 0. So it's going straight ahead. So how this block reads is, right now we have it turned on for rotations. This is how many rotations the tire is going to make. It's moving straight ahead at 50% power, and it's going to make one single rotation. So I could change this to 5. That means it'll make 5 tire rotations and then stop. I could change this so that I program it in degrees. Notice it changes this number to 360. That means the tire will make a 360 degree turn in one, which is equal to 1 rotation. If I change it to 720, that's the equivalent of 2 rotations. So it's up to you on how you want to program these motors. You have the choice. On in seconds means right now it is going to run for 1 second. I could change this to 5 seconds, 10 seconds. The pro if you're talking pros and cons for each of these options, the pro for running in seconds is being able to get your robot to move faster during the same amount of time or go farther in the same amount of time as it would programming and rotate. What I mean is, if I change this to 100% power for 1 second, it will move farther in that 1 second than if I had this set at 50% power. And the same as if I had it set for 25% power, okay? So 25% power for 1 second will go a shorter distance than 100% power.